Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day, thanks in a large part to our pals at the VFS School of Game Design. Thank you so much, Vancouver Film School. Today's rundown is dedicated to Jean-Nicolas Charret, who joined me on my long dark stream the other day and had some very nice things to say. Thank you, JNC. This rundown is all yours. The team of Kojima Productions have shed a little light on their cryptic new game, Death Stranding. During a special presentation at the annual SIGGRAPH Tech Conference, Kojima Productions graphics programmer Kohei Ishiyama showed off some of the new graphics software that they're developing for the game. Specifically, he showed off a short video that gives a glimpse at the new dynamic lighting and fog systems that they're creating. There it is. It's not much, but fans are desperate for any glimpse they can get of the mysterious new game. So far, 2 trailers for Death Stranding have been released, but they seem to create more questions than they answer, so we still don't really know what the game is about or exactly what kind of gameplay it will have. Judging by the fact that they're developing new lighting and fog technology, we can guess that it will probably have stealth elements in large open environments, similar to the last game from Kojima Productions, Metal Gear Solid 5. That was published by Konami before Kojima Productions split with the company, and Death Stranding is being published by Sony, which means it will be a PlayStation exclusive. Kojima Productions founder Hideo Kojima has previously stated that Death Stranding will be released on the PS4, but since they're developing new lighting technology, this could be an indication of what games on future Sony platforms like the PS5 will look like down the road. Don't expect to be playing Death Stranding for at least a few more years, but you know we'll have more details as they come in. Guardians can expect to see loads of big expansions for Destiny 2. The new game will have a strong emphasis on post-launch DLC and expansions, maybe even more so than the last game. That's according to Activision CEO Eric Hirshberg. Speaking with investors, Hirshberg says that the follow-up content for Destiny 2 will be almost as important as the main game, if not equally important. It's unclear if he's speaking about the size of the follow-up content or strictly from a financial perspective, but either way, if Activision and Bungie are already touting the importance of the post-launch DLC, it means it's going to be big. This is sure to please fans who love the game and want to keep getting new content for as long as possible, although there may be some people who are disappointed. One of the complaints about the original Destiny was that it didn't include enough content in the base game, which forced players to spend extra money on DLC and expansions. Hopefully these new statements from Activision about the importance of DLC in Destiny 2 don't mean that the launch game won't have enough content on its own. We'll get to find out when the game deploys next month.
Am I right? Am I right or am I right?
And speaking of DLC, there can be only one new character in For Honor. Well, actually there's 2. Ubisoft has unveiled the new content coming as part of the Season 3 expansion for their online melee combat game. The first is a completely new playable hero, the Highlander. No, they're not based on the characters from the Highlander movies, which is a crying shame.
There can be only one.
They're based on the real-life Viking Highlanders from Northern Europe and have strong defensive capabilities as well as powerful attacks, not to mention the fact that they wield the massive Highlander Claymore, the longest weapon in the game. These Highlanders aren't immortal, so be careful in battle. The second new playable hero joining the game is the Gladiator. Nah, it's not based on that movie either. They're like real Roman gladiators and have less armor and protection, but make up for it with more agility and skills. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
For Honor Season 3 also comes with new maps, modes, gear, and ranked play, as well as the best new update, dedicated servers for the first time. This should go a long way towards quickening the wait times. That was another Highlander reference. Sorry.
There can be only one.
Season 3 begins rolling out on August 15th for Season Pass holders and a week later for everyone else. And if all those Highlander references weren't enough 80s nostalgia for you, the original Karate Kid is making a comeback. A new TV series based on the original Karate Kid movies is on the way.
Wax on, wax off.
According to The Hollywood Reporter, YouTube Red is developing a 10-episode show that will serve as a sequel to the original movies, and most surprisingly of all, original star Ralph Macchio will be back as the titular Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso, along with William Zabka as the bully, Johnny Lawrence. Although there have been several Karate Kid remakes with different actors over the years, this will be Macchio's first time reprising the role since the Karate Kid Part 3 was released back in 1989. I guess you could say he's coming back like a knight in shining armor from a long time ago, just in time to save the day. The new series will consist of 10 episodes, and since it's being produced by YouTube Red, it will be available exclusively on the subscription streaming service. This is their way of taking on rivals like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, which have already been making their own original scripted content for years. A new Karate Kid will certainly have the name recognition to get audiences interested. We could wax poetic all day about how influential the original film was. It tells the story of an underdog who becomes more confident by learning the ancient art of karate from the elderly Mr. Miyagi, played memorably by the late Pat Morita. If we had to guess, we'd say that Ralph Macchio's character will be the mentor this time around, training a new Karate Kid. The show will be available to stream next year. It looks like the DC movie universe is going to stop the bleeding. More evidence has come in that the DC Universe is moving away from the dark and serious tone of Batman vs. Superman and toward a more lighthearted and heroic tone like the smash hit Wonder Woman. Filmmaker David F. Sandberg is currently set to direct the big-screen Shazam movie based on the classic DC hero. In a recent interview with the Toronto Sun, Sandberg says that audiences can expect the movie to be more fun and lighthearted than the previous films in the new DC Universe. This makes sense given that the Shazam comics are more on the comedic side, and the concept behind the character is pretty silly to begin with. Shazam, also known as Captain Marvel, but not to be confused with Marvel's Captain Marvel, is actually a boy who transforms into a superpowered adult man when he speaks the magic word Shazam. In the same interview, Sandberg says that what attracted him to the character is the idea that he's a boy who dreams of being a famous superhero like Superman, and he actually gets to become one. Remember when Superman was an inspiring, heroic character and not a depressed, gloomy weirdo? Shazam likely isn't the only DC film moving in a more lighthearted direction. There have been many reports that Warner Brothers and DC want future films to have a more heroic and less dark tone following the poor reception of Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad, something that can already be seen in the tone of the most recent trailers for their next big outing, Justice League.
I dig it.
The fact that the less dark Wonder Woman has performed so well at the box office will no doubt increase their movement in this direction. We'll get to find out when Justice League arrives this November, while Shazam won't arrive until 2019. And if appropriately dark movies are what you're after, the maker of Ex Machina has another dark sci-fi movie on the way. Ex Machina director Alex Garland's new movie Annihilation is set to hit theaters on February 23, 2018. It doesn't sound like there will be any robots this time around, although like Ex Machina, it will explore some heady sci-fi themes. Annihilation is based on the award-winning novel of the same name and tells the story of a team of scientists who journey into a mysterious quarantined zone on Earth where strange things have begun to happen without any explanation. The further in they go, the more secrets they unravel. The book, as well as the film, are inspired by the 1979 Soviet sci-fi movie Stalker, although unlike that film, this one probably won't put mainstream audiences to sleep. Annihilation will star Natalie Portman along with Oscar Isaac, making this his second time working with Alex Garland following his memorable creepy role in Ex Machina. It will be interesting to see if the new movie has the same moves. Thank you so much for watching. That's our rundown for today. If you want to learn more about game design, visit our friends at VFS.edu. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. We've got a long weekend here in BC, so we'll be back on Tuesday with a brand new rundown for you. In the meantime, watch some of the other content that we've made, and if you like it, hit subscribe, okay?